Welcome to the Growth Arena podcast, where we'll dive deeper together in the arena of personal growth, mindset, and finding happiness in the everyday grind. I'm your host, Dr. Kaan Celebi, entrepreneur, physical therapist, father, husband, and of course, relentless explorer of what it takes to thrive in life. Episode 18, the armor we wear and how it holds us back. We all wear emotional armor, and we're not talking about Knights at the Round Table, King Arthur. We're talking about the armor that protects ourselves. That armor that you put up, that front, that wall that we put up, it might keep you from getting hurt, but it also keeps you from any type of real connection, joy, or growth. So when you talk about this armor, like, well, what actually is it? We all want to feel safe. We all want to belong. We want to avoid judgment, to avoid being hurt. So we protect ourselves. But what starts as this type of protection, that front that we put up, it eventually becomes our own prison. Brene Brown defines armor as the behaviors we use to protect ourselves when we're uncertain, afraid, or feeling vulnerable. Some of the most common types of armor: perfectionism. I do everything perfect, so this way nobody can ever judge me, criticize me. Or how about control? We've all heard that control freak term. If I can protect and manage everything, every outcome, I will never feel blindsided about a single thing. People pleasing, another big one. If I make everyone happy, maybe they'll just accept me and be a part of something. How about blending in? This is a big one for me. I talked about this in the past. If I adapt to the crowd, I won't stand out or be rejected. And detachment is another one. If I don't show anything, they can't hurt me. No emotion whatsoever. And another big one, numbing. If I stay busy, distracted, entertained, I won't have to feel the hard stuff. And we all have our go-tos. A little story about me, probably back when I was 14 years old, ninth grade. I had one of my soccer teammates sleeping over. We had a game the next morning. It was a Friday night. He was dating an older girl at the time, and there was a little party going on, and he really wanted to go. I wanted to stay home. I didn't know anybody was going to be there. I didn't want any part of it. And he just kept pushing me. Come on, man. It won't be that bad. I'll be with you. I'll be hanging out with you. Oh, whatever. He convinced me to go. It starts off really on the wrong foot. One of the older guys goes to pick us up, then knows him. He gets in the car. I get in the back seat, and the driver looks over, is like, who the hell is this? And I'm like, great. This is going to start off awesome. We get to the place, probably about 10 people in there. I don't know a single person. He goes somewhere with his girlfriend. I don't see him from the rest of the night. I basically am sitting there, and I'm just like trying to really just pretend like I sort of belong there, and very, very awkward. That was one of the first awkward experiences that I had in high school, and it sucked. It was a feeling that I never wanted to feel again. Once I left, I ripped him a new one. I was like, dude, you dragged me to this place. You disappeared. I didn't know anybody. I felt so out of place, and just trying to pretend like I actually belonged there was one of the worst experiences I ever had. And something that I can't ever forget. You feel alienated. And when I talk about my own personal armor, my two go-tos have always been emotional detachment and blending in. I've talked about this in a previous episode. I used to think being a chameleon was like a superpower for me. But the more I leaned into that role, the more I felt like disconnected from who I actually was. Like I felt like I could be part of every group, but never really who I was. I felt like I could shift and blend into any room, whether it was some smart kids, athletes, quiet types, whatever. Like I could vibe with just about anybody, and it made me feel safe. I fit in. I never had to fully put myself out there, but I was never really seen for who I was. From middle school and high school, even into college, into my 20s, this is how I felt. Every time I adapted to fit in, it's like I diluted something about myself. I wasn't rejected, but I also really never felt truly known or seen. Going back to high school again, is another vivid memory I can't get out of my head. It was the first open house party we went to. Probably 9th grade, 10th grade. I don't remember. An open house party is, I don't know if they do them anymore, but parents aren't around and a bunch of kids are invited and they invite a bunch of kids. And all of a sudden there's like 100 kids in the house, in the backyard, just hanging out. I always felt awkward at these types of parties when I was younger because I didn't really know anybody. Again, I'm walking around the backyard, I got a red Solo cup in my hand, drinking beer, and I see one of my friends and he's in a little bit of a circle talking to like 3 or 4 other guys. So I kind of join and like nudge my head in, and I see one of the kids holding a bowl and they're smoking pot. Never had pot before, was totally against it. I knew it was bad. And they were like passing the bowl around. And I'm like, holy shit, I don't know what to do. It's going to come around to me and I don't know where to go. And here I am. Like, sure enough, the bowl gets passed to me. I take it. I I light it. I pretend to like inhale it. And like, I do like this fake couple cough things. And like, I pass it back. Meanwhile, I didn't smoke it. I didn't touch it. I knew I didn't want any part of drugs at that time in my life. It was like a big no-no. But instead of saying no, like, yo, I'm good. Like, no, I'm good, man. It's like, yeah, sure. I'll like pretend to smoke it. And you just feel like when you do stuff like that, when you go against your values or you give in to peer pressure like that, you don't feel like yourself. And that's exactly that armor. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like blending in, trying to be cool. And maybe it's a peer pressure moment. It just happens. And honestly, it shows up in adulthood too, in business and content and client relationships. It doesn't go away after high school or college. As an adult, as a parent, meeting new parents, I hate small talk. I absolutely hate small talk. Like, what are we going to talk about? The weather? We're going to talk about, what's your favorite sports team? Like, it's the most awkward, annoying conversations. Put a real conversation in front of me. Let's talk about a project, or put a client in front of me, talk about their case. Like, these are things that like come natural to me. I can have a conversation. I could lead a conversation. But when it comes to just meeting somebody for the first time and having random, honestly, no nonsense conversations, I'd rather just stand there and be quiet. Sometimes it feels awkward, but to me, at this point in my life, it's just like, it's not there and I'm not going to force it. It's same thing with business and me in the social media world, whether it's this podcast where I'm trying to express myself and talk about things that are what I feel are important to me, what I feel like the message that I want to get out there, or if I'm the ACL Academy page and I'm talking about client care and getting my own personality on my own page. I could either, number one, put out what I feel like people are going to resonate with or they're going to like, and then try to grow the page that way. Or number two, what I can do is be authentic. Like put out what I want to put out, what resonates with me. And then I find the people that this resonates with. And that is more important because in long term, you want to attract the people. You want to be surrounded with people that are like you and not vice versa. A second piece of armor that's always been a part of my life is emotional detachment. Not that I don't feel. I feel very deeply. If anything, I feel like I'm more sensitive, especially as I get older. But for a long time, I don't show it. Yes, at home, I'm a different person, people that I'm comfortable with, but you put me out in a circle of people that I don't know, that I'm meeting for the first time, you won't get much emotion from me. You will think I'm a very stoic guy because showing it feels risky. And whether it's in a business meeting or it's being surrounded by a group of your peers that you don't know, for me, it's just easier to be calm, to be controlled, to stay a little distant. You don't ruffle any feathers. But that distance keeps people from truly connecting. You can't connect with people if you're only giving them the surface version of you. It just doesn't happen. I'm not saying that, when you're meeting people for the first time, you should overshare. TMI, no. But as you get to know people, it's important to let them in, like to let them know who you truly are. Otherwise, like you have this whole facade, you're putting up this whole like front, and you get into relationships with people, friendships with people that maybe you never would. And it just happens because you're a different version. You're Con B version versus Con A version. And what I'm slowly learning is at the age of 40 versus who I was through middle school, through high school, through my 20s even, that I'd rather be who I am, attract the people into my circle who align with who I am, my values, than try to fit in. And I know it's very easy for me to say this at 40. I wish I could have been brave enough in my teens, in my 20s, to be this certain way. Some of it I think is time, some of it's learning experiences, but these are the things that I would love to be able to, yes, teach my kids, to educate on this platform, to let people know that the fronts that we put up, the armor that we put on each and every day not to be hurt, in the long run, honestly bites us in the ass. So let's pause here for a second. Let's ask a bigger question. Well, why do we keep the armor on? And because it works. It works. 100% works, at least in the short term. It gives us a sense of control. It lets us avoid pain, embarrassment, judgment. It helps us navigate uncertainty. It protects us in moments when we don't yet have the tools to stand fully in who we are. But over time, this armor that once protected us, it becomes honestly the very thing that holds us back. We stay at that surface level and deeper connection never comes about. It becomes the barrier between who we are and who we want to be, between the version of ourselves we present to the world and the one aching to come forward. And the longer you have that armor on, the harder it is to take off. Keeping this armor on, it's all about fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being too much or not enough, fear that if people saw the real us, they might walk away. And that fear, if left unchecked, starts running the show. It takes over. So how do we drop this armor? How do we work on it? How do we let it go completely? Well, it definitely doesn't happen overnight. And it doesn't mean that we want to expose ourselves recklessly. If you meet somebody for the first time, you're not sharing your whole life story with them because that's too much info. And that probably is going to end up having somebody run the other way. It just means slowly letting go of the pieces that are no longer serving you. So for me, what does that look like? When I come here in this podcast, I try to speak more honestly. I try to be a little bit more vulnerable. I try to tell stories that I've never told before. And that has helped me at least bring on new connections, more connections with people that my stories resonate with. I also try to do it with my clients, letting them see when I don't have all the answers. I work with 100, 150 clients a year. At one time, anywhere from 50 to 70 clients. Some cases are very easy. Some cases are a little bit more difficult. I don't pretend to have all the answers. Yes, a lot of things that we see are common, but when there are outliers, I get more and more comfortable saying, hey, listen, I don't know the exact answer to this. We're going to find it out and we're going to progress accordingly. I also try to do this with my kid. This could just be me, but I would think this is going to resonate with people. Growing up as a kid, I don't know if I looked at my parents like they were people. To me, they were parents, but I didn't realize that was a person I was talking to, that they have thoughts. I thought, oh yeah, that's my mom and dad. They're here to serve me. They're here to parent me, but they're people too. And maybe you don't realize that until you get older, until you become a parent yourself. What I'm trying to do with my kids is show them that I'm a human too, that I can't always be on all the time, that my life's not easy too, that I'm working hard just like you, that I have challenges just like you, that I get afraid just like you, that I still get nervous, that I don't have all the answers. I want them to grow up knowing that their parents aren't robots. Letting my kids see me for me. As a parent, it's a stigma, really, that we feel like we need to be strong. Nothing's ever wrong. Growing up, I always thought this about my parents. Everything was perfect with them, that they were strong people, that they had all the answers. They were here to protect me. Their job was to serve me and to cheer me on and to provide for me. I didn't realize that they were actually people, that they had thoughts, that they had a heart, that they had feelings too, that they had their own challenges. You don't think about that as a kid. And maybe that's different in other households. I don't know, but that's how I felt growing up. My parents had all the answers. Everything was perfect. I just didn't think that they had their own problems, that they had their own challenges, that they had their own battles. And maybe what they were doing was trying to protect me from that. And I understand that. For my kids, though, yes, there are certain parts of life where we have to be strong, where we have to have the answers, where we have to give confidence where there's uncertainty. Yes, I totally can appreciate that and understand that. But if we always put up that armor where everything is perfect, I think we're also putting ourselves on a pedestal and our kids can never catch up. They need to understand that even when they get to my age, it's not like everything goes away. I want them to look at us as their mom and dad, know that they're people too, that they have feelings too, that they go through stuff too, that they're tired too. And I think understanding this will come a long way. To be honest with you, it's not easy. And we all have our armor. We all use it daily. But the more we let go, the more we try to be the version of ourselves that we want to be and put in the world, the better connections that we have, and the better we'll connect with people. Brene Brown says the antidote to armor is grounded confidence and self-awareness. And that takes practice. This podcast is part of that practice for me. It's me showing up, not just polished or packaged, trying to be as honest and as real as I can so it connects with my people, with the people that this will resonate with. My challenge for you this week, where do you feel your armor is? Whether it's in perfectionism or blending in, being a chameleon, or having to control everything. Which one is it? So where's one conversation or a moment at work or around your group of friends where you can take off just one layer of this armor? Because you honestly can't live with this armor on and expect to feel connection. It doesn't happen. You will always never feel like you belong. You can't fake your way to it. This is the Growth Arena. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.
Thank you for stepping into the Growth Arena today. I hope you found value in this episode and feel inspired to keep leveling up in your mindset, personal growth, and road to happiness. Remember, growth is a journey and not a destination. The most important step is the one you take today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share with someone who's ready to step into their own growth arena. And for more information and insights, connect with me on Instagram, Kaan_Celebi, or visit us on YouTube at _Growth Arena. Until next time, keep growing, keep pushing, and I'll see you back here on the next episode.